You know, there's one thing a lot of my patients have quietly confessed to me, usually during their follow-up visits. They say, "Doctor, last night I was woken up again by a cramp in my calf. It hurt so much I just wanted to scream. Sometimes I have to jump out of bed, pace around the room, massage it, but by then, my sleep is gone." Have you ever felt that? The stillness of the night suddenly broken when your calf tightens up, like a rope being pulled too hard, and all you can do is clutch it, waiting for the pain to pass. If you're nodding right now, you're not alone. I've met hundreds, even thousands of patients over 50 who've told me the exact same story. Leg cramps in older adults, especially at night, are far more common than most people realize. And the cause isn't some mystery. At its core, it comes down to an electrolyte imbalance, when the body doesn't have enough key minerals like potassium, magnesium, or calcium. Think of these minerals like the wires connecting your nerves and muscles. If those wires are weak or flickering, the muscles misfire, and they respond with sudden, painful contractions. Dehydration also plays a huge role. I had one retired teacher who drank very little water because she was afraid of having to get up at night to use the bathroom. But that habit left her body chronically low on fluids, and as a result, her cramps got worse and worse. I gently advised her, drink plenty of water during the day, and taper off toward the evening. Your body will thank you, and your nights will be much calmer. Poor circulation is another factor. As we age, our blood vessels aren't as flexible as they used to be. Blood moves more slowly, especially to the legs, the furthest point from the heart. Imagine a garden that doesn't get enough water, the plants wither. Our muscles are the same. Without enough nutrients delivered through the blood, they become irritable and cramp more easily. And don't forget inflammation. It doesn't just happen when you're injured or sick. In older adults, chronic low-grade inflammation can simmer quietly in the background, fueled by a sedentary lifestyle, an unbalanced diet, or conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure. Inflammation makes nerves and muscles more sensitive, and that sets the stage for unexpected spasms. I want you to picture this: you're lying in bed, ready to drift off after a long day. If your body has enough minerals, good circulation, and well-nourished muscles, your legs will stay calm and relaxed. But if you're running low, if your blood flow is sluggish, or if inflammation is lurking, those cramps will show up, whether you like it or not. Science backs this up, too. After age 50, the body's ability to absorb and store minerals gradually declines. That means even if you eat the same meals you did 20 years ago, you're now getting less nutrition from them. And that's one reason older adults experience cramps more often. But here's the good news: we can absolutely take action through nutrition, gentle movement, and small daily habits. One of my patients, a 72-year-old retired engineer, struggled with cramps so badly that he avoided traveling with his wife, afraid of losing sleep at night. After some tests, we discovered the main culprits were magnesium deficiency and dehydration. Together, we built a simple plan: add more leafy greens to his meals, include a handful of nuts, stay hydrated throughout the day, and do a few stretching exercises before bed. Just 3 weeks later, he called me, his voice full of excitement. "Doctor, last night was the first time in months I slept straight through without a single cramp." Hearing that, I felt my work had purpose in the deepest way. Here's the key point I want you to remember: cramps are not just a random pain. They're a message from your body, a signal that something is out of balance. Instead of brushing them off as just a normal part of aging, listen to them. Ask yourself, am I drinking enough water? Am I eating enough greens and mineral-rich foods? Am I moving enough to keep my blood flowing? Our bodies are always whispering to us. A cramp is just one way it knocks on the door. The question is, will you open the door and listen? And remember this: aging is not a downward spiral. It's a chance to slow down, to care for yourself more intentionally. A peaceful night's sleep, without cramps jolting you awake, is a gift you can absolutely give yourself, starting with the small choices you make today. You know, there's something I always remind my patients: your muscles are like a musical instrument. If you neglect them, the strings get tight, the sound turns harsh. But if you care for them, touch them every day, they'll play in harmony. Our legs are just the same. As we age, our muscles lose some of their flexibility, blood flow slows down. And if we let them sit idle for too long, the price we pay often comes in the form of those sudden nighttime cramps. I remember one patient, George, 68 years old. He'd worked in an office for nearly 40 years, and once he retired, he spent most of his time indoors, barely moving around. Every night, he was jolted awake by cramps so bad that he had to sit up and massage his legs for 10 minutes just to calm the pain. When I asked, "Do you do any stretches or maybe take a short walk before bed?" he chuckled and shook his head. "Doctor, I thought only young folks needed that. I'm old, I thought I was supposed to just rest." So we tried a small change. Every evening, before bed, George took a slow walk around his neighborhood, just 10 to 15 minutes. Afterward, he added a few simple stretches, ankle circles, calf stretches, and a gentle forward bend. 2 weeks later, he came back to my office, looking brighter than I'd ever seen him. "Doctor, these past few nights I've barely had any cramps. I've been sleeping straight through till morning. I feel like I'm 10 years younger." See what I mean? Sometimes, the answer doesn't come in an expensive pill, it comes in those slow, steady steps you take each day. I want you to picture this: it's evening. After dinner, you step outside, breathe in the cool night air. You stroll around the block, listening to the chirping of crickets, noticing the soft glow of your neighbor's porch light. Your legs wake up, your blood starts flowing, your muscles unwind after a long day. Then, when you finally climb into bed, your body feels at ease, ready to slip into a peaceful sleep. And science backs this up. Research shows that people who keep up with light activity, especially walking and stretching, are far less likely to suffer from nighttime cramps compared to those who stay sedentary. When you stretch your calves, you're teaching the muscle fibers to relax instead of tightening suddenly. And walking, even for just 10 minutes, is an excellent way to boost circulation to your legs. You might be thinking, "But I don't have the strength for heavy workouts anymore." Trust me, you don't need them. No gym, no fancy equipment, no grueling exercises. Just gentle steps and a few simple stretches. The magic isn't in the intensity, it's in the consistency. Do it every day, and your legs will remember, they're still useful, still strong. Here's a small piece of advice: don't treat walking or stretching like a chore on your checklist. Instead, make it a calming ritual before bed. Like brushing your teeth or washing your face. Just a few minutes, and it can completely transform your sleep and your health. You see, we can't stop time from moving forward. But we can choose how we walk alongside it, with steady, deliberate steps. Have you ever laid down in bed, your body exhausted, but your mind spinning with 100 thoughts? The unpaid bills, the phone call you didn't make, or just that vague worry about health and aging. And then, right as you're finally trying to drift off, a sudden leg cramp strikes, and the whole night feels even heavier. I often tell my patients, our muscles and nerves are like two companions. When the nerves are tense, the muscles tighten. When the nerves relax, the muscles soften and move with ease. One of my patients, Linda, 72, once told me, "Doctor, I drink enough water, I eat healthy, but my leg still seize up badly at night. I just don't understand why." When I asked about her sleep, she sighed, "I have terrible insomnia. I toss and turn past midnight, my mind just won't stop racing." And that was the key: lack of sleep, paired with ongoing stress, had made her nervous system hypersensitive. It sent faulty signals, and her muscles responded with cramps. Think of it this way: if your nervous system is the conductor, your muscles are the orchestra. When the conductor is tired or stressed, the baton shakes, the rhythm falters, and the entire orchestra falls into chaos. Cramps are that off-key note inside your body. So where's the solution? It lies in quality sleep and peace of mind. Science has shown that when you get enough rest, your brain produces stable neurotransmitters that help muscles relax. But when you're stressed and sleep-deprived, cortisol levels rise, your nerves become overstimulated, and your risk of cramps nearly doubles. I want you to try a simple ritual. Before bed, put away your phone, dim the lights, and give yourself a few minutes of deep breathing. You might listen to soft music or read a calming book. Some of my patients even keep a gratitude journal, jotting down 3 small things that made them happy that day. It sounds simple, but it helps the brain switch channels, leaving the zone of worry and moving into a state of rest. Have you ever woken up after a full night's sleep and felt your legs light, your whole body buzzing with energy? That's not magic, that's the reward for caring for your rest and your mind. Aging may slow the body, but a peaceful mind and deep sleep are the most powerful natural medicine you can give yourself. Remember, cramps don't just come from missing minerals, they also rise from the quiet exhaustion of the soul. So tonight, when you lay your head on the pillow, remind yourself, I give myself permission to rest. I let my body and mind relax together. Trust me, your legs will thank you for it. Underscore 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 underscore. My dear friend, let me tell you something fascinating about eggs. You've probably eaten eggs all your life without ever really thinking about this. Inside that tiny little shell lies vitamin B12, the nutrient that keeps our nervous system running smoothly, and protein, the building block your muscles use to repair themselves after a long day. I once met a 74-year-old gentleman who told me that after he started adding boiled eggs to his breakfast a few times a week, he felt stronger, and those painful nighttime leg cramps bothered him far less. Sometimes, the simplest foods carry a quiet kind of power. But of course, food alone isn't enough. Our muscles are like machines. If you leave them sitting too long without movement, they rust. That's why I always tell my patients, take a walk. Stretch your muscles before bed. One of my patients, Maria, once shared that just 15 minutes of walking around her neighborhood in the evening, paired with a few gentle calf stretches, nearly ended her sleepless nights caused by cramps. See? No fancy gym, no complicated exercises, just small, gentle movements that unlock peaceful sleep. And when it comes to foods, I can't forget bananas and sweet potatoes. Humble as they seem, they're packed with potassium, a mineral absolutely essential for proper muscle contraction and relaxation. I like to call potassium the gatekeeper of our muscles. With enough of it, the doors open and close at the right times, keeping everything in harmony. But when you're low on potassium, chaos sneaks in, and cramps can strike right in the middle of the night. Have you ever had that moment? You shoot out of bed, your calf muscle hard as a rock, the pain sharp enough to make you break into a sweat. That's your body crying out for nutrients. And of course, nothing is more important than good sleep and a calm mind. I once told you about Linda, a patient of mine who struggled with cramps because she was exhausted and overwhelmed by stress. Our bodies are remarkably intelligent, but when we're caught in constant worry, they fall into disarray. So make it a habit. Breathe deeply, dim the lights, put the phone down, let your mind rest. Your muscles will thank you. There's another friend I want you to remember, coconut water. Many of my patients are surprised when I tell them that coconut water is nature's own sports drink. It's rich in electrolytes, potassium, magnesium, calcium, sodium, all the things your body loses after a day of activity or when taking water pills. One refreshing glass doesn't just quench thirst, it nourishes your muscles and keeps cramps away. Speaking of magnesium, I immediately think of spinach and pumpkin seeds. Magnesium is like the body's relaxation mineral. Without it, muscle fibers become overly excitable, like a guitar string wound too tight. Pluck it just a little, and it snaps. In the same way, without magnesium, the smallest movement can trigger a cramp. But when you add spinach to your meals or snack on a handful of pumpkin seeds, you're quietly soothing your muscles. And please don't forget something that seems almost too simple, drinking enough water. I often call dehydration the silent culprit. Even being a little dehydrated can throw off your electrolytes and leave your muscles screaming in pain. Remember, that feeling of thirst is the body's last alarm bell. you were already dehydrated before you felt it. So don't wait until you're thirsty, sip throughout the day. Sometimes patients ask me, "Doctor, besides food, is there anything else that helps?" And I always smile, yes, the gifts of the ocean. Salmon and sardines are loaded with omega-3s and vitamin D. Pair them with yogurt, and you get an excellent source of calcium. Together, these nutrients reduce inflammation and keep both muscles and bones strong. I once met an older gentleman in Florida who swore by his habit of eating salmon twice a week. At 75, he still took morning walks along the beach, free from the cramps that once plagued him. Finally, I want to mention almonds and avocados, foods that seem indulgent but are true nutritional treasures. Almonds, crunchy and rich, and avocados, creamy and smooth, both provide magnesium, vitamin E, and healthy fats. They don't just feed your muscles, they also support circulation and calm hidden inflammation. I often tell my patients, every time you enjoy a slice of avocado or a handful of almonds, you're gifting your legs a little present. You see, preventing cramps isn't complicated. It's built into the little choices you make every day: an egg at breakfast, salmon at dinner, an evening walk, a glass of coconut water, a few almonds before bed. These small acts, repeated day by day, weave together a stronger body, a deeper sleep, and a life in which every step in your later years feels light, steady, and free. Underscore 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 4. https://www.youtube.com/watchquestionmark v=dpnbppjwrr0$pp=2az6. Top 3 foods to prevent leg cramps in seniors. Strengthen your legs. Underscore 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 underscore. You know, in all my years working with patients over 50, there's one story I hear again and again. They'll say to me, "Doctor, at night I get these terrible cramps. They hurt so much they wake me right out of sleep. I thought it was nothing serious, but now I wake up exhausted, drained, and the whole day I feel like I've got no energy." Have you ever felt that way? Cramps might seem like a small inconvenience, but when they happen night after night, they quietly steal the quality of our lives. And the interesting thing is, part of the answer can be found right in your kitchen, inside something as humble as an egg. I want you to imagine this: every time you eat an egg, you're giving your body not just fuel, but the very bricks it needs to build and repair muscle. After 50, our bodies naturally start to lose muscle mass. We call it sarcopenia. And when muscle shrinks, strength and balance slip away, raising the risk of falls and injuries. But the protein in eggs? It works like a team of quiet repairmen, going in, patching up tiny tears, and helping your muscles recover from the everyday wear and tear.